Would like to call to order the Trotwood-Madison Board of Education regular meeting to order September 19, 2019, here in our Board of Education offices. Mrs. Allen, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, the meeting has been called to order. Please join us for a pledge of allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I now need a motion to adopt the agenda as presented.
So moved.
Second.
Been moved, and I have a second. Are there any questions, concerns, or changes, additions, addendums? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Ms. Moore.
Yes, the agenda has been adopted. First item up this evening, an executive session. The executive session is a resolution to enter into executive session A, to prepare for conduct or review negotiations or bargaining sessions with public employees concerning their compensation or other terms and conditions of their employment per ORC 121.22 G4, and B, to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official licensee, or regulated individual per Board of Education Policy 0166 and ORC 121.22. I now need a motion.
I'll move. I'll second.
Been moved, and we have a second to enter into executive session. Any questions? Action will be taken. Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, we will now adjourn into executive session at 5:32. Okay, we have now adjourned out of executive session at 5:57 PM for the record. And we will proceed with our regular meeting. First item up, under community comments. Mrs. Allen, are there any?
It is.
Okay.
Mrs. Pamela Thompson. Thomas.
I apologize. We do not have the podium tonight. It's broken, so we got to get it fixed.
Okay.
So,
Okay. Ms. Thomas, would you? Yeah, please. Thank you.
President Moore, Vice President Peter Freeman, and other members of the.
You hear?
I can't hear you.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Ms. Thomas, we all can't hear you. The mic adjusts. Yes.
there you go.
Thank you.
Okay, so I wanted to report back on what happened with my grandson, and I am pleased to say that with the assistance of Superintendent Howard and Mrs. Lisa Minor, we were able to have the issue resolved, and I'm just very pleased that we were able to do that, because I told him it was almost a year trying to resolve this issue, and I greatly appreciate your assistance. And one other thing, a question I have is the individuals who are running for board where do you find the information, their bio, their platform that they're running on? Where is that information located now?
Well, I'll share with you. The League of Women Voters, they're going to put out a guide, and you'll get that information there, and also from the Dayton Daily News. They will also put out a voter's guide.
Right. Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it. Thank you for your comments, and we're glad that things were resolved for you. Okay, next up, board report. I am going to, let's see, where we at? Report. I need a resolution for item A, a motion. And item A is a resolution to approve the negotiated agreement between the Trotwood-Madison City School Board of Education and the Trotwood-Madison Education Association for the period July 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2022. And I now need a motion.
So moved. I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Yes, Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman.
Yes.
Mr. Andrews.
Yes.
And Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Second item is a resolution to approve the same provisions and fringe benefits to district employees that are not represented by Trotwood-Madison Education Association as provided to bargaining unit members for the period July 1, 2019 through June 30th, 2022. I need a motion.
So moved.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Next up, we have a consent agenda. And the consent agenda, item A, approval of meeting minutes from August 1, 2019 through August 5th, 2019 and August 15th, 2019. Item B, acceptance of donations for the district Westbrook Village and middle schools. Item C, approval of class of 2020 student activities purpose statement and budget for FY20. And item D, approval of catapult contracts as presented. I now need a motion for consent items A, B, C, and D as presented.
I'll move.
I'll second.
It's been moved and I have a second. Are there any questions?
Just a comment, the catapult contracts are not for Trotwood. Those are for Chaminade, and it's really for Mother Bruner School. They're a pass-through for us to them.
Any other? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Next items are treasurer's report. Ms. Allen?
Yes. Okay, I have a couple things for you this evening. The first one under 6A is for information only. And it is a memorandum of agreement, depository agreement with Key Bank. We do this every 5 years. When the terms are up, we have to then bring it back to the board so that you have an approval for us to take Key Bank deposits. We actually have investment accounts with Key Bank. And so I needed to put this on for information, and then I would like approval at the work session in October.
Thank you. Item B?
Yes. So item B is an amended appropriation for FY20. I have highlighted 4 items that were changed from the last time that I brought an amended appropriation document to you. The first one is Fund 439. We actually increased that to $236,000. We have several new grants. One is High School That Works, that's Fund 461 in the amount of $5,000. We are very excited about the Student Wellness and Success Dollars, Fund 467 in the amount of $622,248. And then we have another grant, Title III, Fund 551 in the amount of $3,122.73. With all of those plus the other ones that stayed the same, the total appropriations I'm asking you to approve this evening, $54,026,398.63.
I need a motion for Treasurer's Item B to approve FY20 amended appropriations as presented.
I move.
I'll second.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
And I think we may have discussed this.
Yes, we did.
Yeah, this item
The
was
high s-
on last meeting, regular meeting or work session. We did not vote on it. And the highlighted areas are the new
Yes.
grants that came in, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Any other comments, questions? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Treasurer's Report, Item C.
Okay, so we had a finance committee meeting this evening. And I'll start with the cash reconciliation report. For August 2019, you can see at the top bank statement balances of $3,501,231.21. We have investment balances of $28 million plus total bank and investment cash balances totals $32,310,611.23. Outstanding vendor checks, $789,009.09. There's payroll adjustments of $2,935.16. With that, makes the adjusted bank balance of $31,518,666.98. That does match exactly to what is on our financial system or our meta system, and the same amount, so the variance bank to book is 0. The next item is the Form SM2 that indicates the revenues and expenditures for the month of August, in addition to fiscal year to date, which would include July and August. You can see that the revenues that we received in August and the expenditures, and then at the bottom of the report is the ending cash balance and the outstanding encumbrances. The last list is checks over $1,000 for the month of August 2019. As I stated before, we did have a finance committee meeting prior to this meeting this evening, and there were a couple of questions from the finance committee members, and I had an opportunity to pull those purchase orders. So one of the questions was for school specialty. So school specialty, there were two checks, one in the amount of $2,248, and the other one for school specialty in the amount of $1,043.64. Both of those checks were for the ELC, and they were for classroom supplies for FY20.
Thank you.
The other question was to Legacy Inc. and Legacy Companies LLC in the amount of $2,694. That invoice was paid for repairs on the Early Learning Center. They said they found a hole that was causing 3 leaks. There was middle school, had multiple leaks, and that was repaired. And that, again, that check was made out to Legacy Roofing for $2,694.
Legacy Roofing is our preventive maintenance company holder of our maintenance plan for our roofs throughout the district. So on occasion, when they come in and do PM, you may see a check cut for repairs.
And so that's all of that I had this evening. I would like,
For action.
yes.
Okay. I need a motion for Treasurer's Item C to approve August 2019 financial reports as presented.
I move.
I'll second, okay. Like, go ahead.
Mr. Andrews?
Uh-huh.
I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
I do have one.
Okay.
Janice, could you, under the cash reconciliation report, would you be able for the other board members to talk, just to tell them about the payroll adjustments? What exactly are those?
Yeah, that 2,900,
Yes.
that was my question. Thank you.
Yes. There were 2 adjustments. One's retirement. It's basically when it hits the bank. So one was September, I think, 1st, and the other one was August 30th. So they hadn't hit the bank yet, but we did book them on the system. And so that's the variance of those 2. One was retirement and one was for an employee's check. So it's just timing, and so that'll fall off for next month.
Okay. Additionally, under checks over 1,000, there is item 2040 for Justin's for $14,900. What's that?
That's for the state championship rings, and in the financial notes in front of you, it indicates that that was outside money that was raised, and it was not district money. All of those were outside donations for those state championship rings. And so we made sure that before we actually sent the money, that all the money was then received. So that is in the notes. And that did come up in the financial committee meeting as well.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
All right. Any other questions or comments? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Next up, thank you, Ms. Allen.
You're welcome.
Superintendent report. Mr. Howard.
Superintendent's report, item A, is a draft contract with Samaritan Behavioral Health for mental health services to be provided to the district for the 1920 school year. After a very diligent process of vetting 4 different proposals from providers, Mrs. Minor, credit to definitely to her, we have recommended the group Samaritan Behavioral Health for our mental health services provider. I wanted to get this contract in front of you guys. I'm sorry.
There's no contract.
It should be attached.
It's not attached.
Okay.
Okay,
Mine-
Ms. Bozeman doesn't have it and I don't have it.
Okay.
All right.
Yeah, it's
So we'll
on
get
mine.
it, we'll get it attached. Mr. Andrews, do you have it? Can you open up the draft contract?
Mhm.
Okay, so, yeah, we'll just make sure that we
Yeah.
get that, please.
Okay. Is yours open up?
I don't have it either.
Oh. Sorry about that.
No
Mine
worries.
mine is open.
Yeah, no worries, all right?
I'm sitting there looking at it like,
You wanna look?
President Moore,
Yeah.
can you, I thought that I didn't have it on the left. Can you look at contents? Because I did contents and I see mine now, but I didn't see the little icon until I touched content.
Okay, contents
I
on
have
the
a tab
left.
content. And then you should see the agreement that's under the executive content.
yeah, mine came up just as a little tab underneath.
Mhm.
Yeah, I have it.
See it?
No,
Can you refresh it? Try to
let me
refresh it.
refresh it.
Did yours come up, Ms. Bozeman?
When I refreshed it.
Okay.
guess I'm the only one without it. That's okay. You'll get it. You'll get
Yeah,
it.
I'll send it to you
All
right
right.
before.
I appreciate it. Thank you.
And just for clarification, this is a redlined version that our attorney has vetted. We're going to send it back to Samaritan, and their attorney will review. But I wanted to give you all of the information so you can review the contract with the intent of us to, hopefully vote on it next meeting so we can get these services in progress. Mrs. Love Allen has already been working with the social workers to compile a list of students that are in need of these services. And, our goal is to, if we vote on it the 3rd, have these services in place on the 7th. We'll start services on the 7th. And then once Samaritan Behavioral Health sends me back the final version of the contract, I will forward that to you as well. We do have Amy Monteith from Samaritan here in the audience this evening. She's not here to give a presentation or anything, but she is just here for support. She's also provided everyone with some paper. I know Ms. Bozeman would be excited about that. Some folders for your review, and any questions or concerns that you have. Hopefully, we can definitely respond to them.
Okay. The cost of this contract, is that $408,000?
408. You can come on up. 408.
But you're not going to present, right? Okay. All right.
And Amy, I'll let you explain how the cost works.
Sure.
Yeah.
So what we do when we design these contracts is look at the total cost. So what does it cost to employ those, well, for you guys, 5 therapists, their benefits, a portion of my salary to manage the team, as well as do presentations, education, that kind of stuff. So for this, it is $408,670. What we'll do is divide that for you guys, since we're starting mid-year, divide that into 3 quarterly payments. And then we will subtract any payments we receive from Medicaid for the services that we open with the clients who have Medicaid from that contract amount, so that we're not double paying for those services.
And the 270 is,
Yes,
okay.
so we anticipate that if we spend half of our time billing Medicaid, that the balance will be $270,000, which is the absolute most that you will pay from
This
those
service.
payments, yes.
Okay.
And then any additional revenue that we pull in from Medicaid will be subtracted from that amount.
Okay.
And initially, whatever we do end up paying will not touch any general fund monies. We will be funding this through the student wellness money that
The 600.
the state of Ohio has just approved. So this is totally away from general fund with that regard. So we'll program this directly to that student wellness money.
And then Medicaid picks up costs as well. How many students are we identifying so far?
We are still working on that. We're looking at the numbers of the prior 2 years ago.
Okay.
Their prior caseloads. And again, Ms. Love Allen is working with the social workers to identify students that are red, maybe yellow and green.
I remember that.
Yeah, right. And just to formulate a list of kids that we can start rolling for support.
And I'm sorry, did you say we had 5?
Well, yeah, you have 1 per building.
Okay.
They will be there 5 days a week, so they will serve an identified caseload of however many you identify, as well as do referrals for treatment to additional services, do some classroom management techniques for teachers and other staff, as well as observation of students that we think may need our services. They can help with conflict management. If there's an event at the school, a fight, et cetera, they can help intervene after the fact with those students to help everybody de-escalate and return to the classroom. So there is an identified caseload of kids that are seen on a regular basis, but they're there to serve the entire building, staff included.
Do you intervene with parents?
Yes, absolutely. That is a
At
big
what-
part of what we do. We are the liaison between the parents and the staff. Oftentimes, our families have been feel very isolated from the school, so we really try to be the liaison between them and get everybody on the same page.
So what other schools do you provide service to?
We serve 33 different schools. We serve Dayton Public Schools, Piqua, Milton Union, West Carrollton, forgetting,
I think you serve CTC.
CTC, yes, and
Are these 33 local schools or, okay,
And-
so
yeah, Miami
Mhm.
County and Montgomery.
Montgomery and Miami County.
Okay.
Any other questions?
Oh, Emerson, yeah.
Yes,
Okay, thank you.
will your services
Yeah.
also
Thank you.
be, will it be available or made available if you identify students who are traumatized by the tornadoes?
Absolutely, yes.
Okay.
Any
Is there,
child that has mental health problems can use our services.
okay, is there a separate program for that, or is it just kind of included in the scope of everything you do?
We were asked to do a support group for the community and teachers as well.
Mhm.
So we will be implementing that.
Okay, okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
And as you can see, when you get a chance to go through your folder, some of you, if you go through it, a very comprehensive proposal that Samaritan put together. And again, I want to commend Ms. Minor and her group for actually vetting these organizations, bringing principals in, and then making a recommendation that we definitely feel is will benefit the district.
One last question. The background of most of your therapists that will be in our schools, what is
All
the
of the
background?
therapists are licensed through the state board, and they're either social workers or mental health counselors.
Okay,
Most are master's degree. We have a few bachelor degree.
okay.
Almost all of my staff, well, depending on who comes to the district, I have several staff that have been with our company for over 20 years.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah.
Okay. Next item up. Item B.
Superintendent item B is the contract with the city of Trotwood for the school resource officer. This is for information this evening,
Okay.
and this is for just the one school resource officer.
Yeah, oh, thank you. And we do this every year.
Right, correct.
Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
Okay. It is the same resource officer?
yes.
Any questions? Item C?
Item C is a group of additional contracts for Mother Bruner through Catapult Learning. These are for auxiliary supports, flow through contracts to the district.
Standard operating procedure
Correct,
on these?
yes.
Item D?
Item D is a contract with Graduation Alliance. Graduation Alliance is the provider of our alternative and back on track programs that service students at the high school. This is a standard contract, just a renewal, I believe, at this point.
Yeah. How long have we had Graduation Alliance?
I want to say 3 years. I think this is
This is our third year?
Will they be located in this building again? I think toward the end of the year, we moved them here.
they as in the students?
The students.
No, the students are located at the high school.
Okay.
They are still at the high school, yes.
That's a lot of pages. Any questions? Okay, being none, Mr. Howard. Student activity, purpose statement, budgets.
Attached are activity purpose statement budgets for information this evening from the high school singers, high school vocal, high school muse machine, high school national honor society, and middle school student government.
Questions?
Um, what is the difference between the two groups, the first two on the contract, the singers and the vocal?
If I remember correctly, the singers is a more directly specific advanced group of students, and the high school vocal is our school choir. Ms. Bruno, is that correct? Okay.
More performances for the singers. They're the ones that travel. High school vocal goes to anything that would be related to vocal in the building. Participation in the history program, preparing them for those things,
Okay,
and the
okay.
choir as a whole.
Mr. Howard, item F.
Item F is a resolution to approve the personnel agenda for September 19th. A1 is a recommendation for approval of a certified resignation. A2, approval of limited contracts. A3, recommendation for approval of certified staff for our 21st century program. A4, certified supplemental contract. Would we like to do them all together, A and B, or? Okay. B1, recommendation of approval of classified resignation. Recommendation of approval for classified termination. Recommendation for approval for classified employee, and recommendation for approval of classified employment used on as-need basis. ESP support for our 21st century program. And B5, recommendation for approval of the following staff as needed for student events, student workers, substitute custodians, and food service. And I am asking for action on this evening.
I need a motion for item F, resolution to approve the personnel agenda as presented.
I'll move.
Second.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Are there any questions?
We're now using our teachers for the 21st century grant, I believe.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Any others? Being none, Ms. Allen, will you call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
Mrs. Bozeman,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes, motion passes. Discussion items and updates. Item A, family reunion weekend. It's coming up. When is that? September
28th?
28th, Saturday?
Yes.
All right. I know that we're going to be in the parade.
Correct. Should have representation from every building in the parade.
Wonderful.
Yeah, we should have representation.
Unfortunately, the band's not going to be here.
The band will be in Indianapolis, Indiana, participating in the Circle City Classic.
Okay.
Yeah, so, yeah, they will not be here.
Okay. Board, we'll walk like we did last year. Okay. In addition to that, on Saturday, we will have a hospitality tent at the park. And that hospitality tent, we'll have our tent, and the city will have their tent. What we've done is, instead of throwing a huge appreciation dinner for our contributors and our donors, our administrative assistant has sent out letters and invitations and thank yous for all those folks, but inviting them to come to the family reunion and the hospitality tent. Under the hospitality tent, Mr. Howard has pulled together some items for us to show our appreciation as well. I know there's water. We're gonna have a bottle of water. We're gonna have
Water,
cookies with some
cookies.
stamps on them, chips, bag of chips, and we're working on the hot dogs. All right, I'm just saying, all right? We'll talk about that. All right, so just really something to show our appreciation. We're not gonna break the bank, but it's important that we recognize and acknowledge those that have helped us. And also, I'm gonna put this invitation out to the staff. I know Ms. Jordan Isaacs has been working with many, many, many donors and contributors, and we have a list that was put together, but if there's names on that list that we don't have, or individuals that we need to reach out to, please, let's do so. We know we're probably gonna miss somebody, because I know Kim didn't have email addresses, but again, we're doing the best we can to thank folks that have really, really supported us. In addition to that, Mr. Howard, you'll have that, the way that hospitality tent, I know for the most part, the board's gonna be there throughout that time frame, and it's 1 to 4, or 11 to 4?
I think I think the tent will be set up from 11 to 4, but whatever food we have as we finalize that will be from 1 to 4.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, additionally, board retreat, really quick update. We're gonna have our retreat on October 19th, which is Saturday. We'll start at 8:30. Mrs. Allen, I know that you're not gonna be able to be there. However, that's okay, because we'll have a separate session for you to dig deeper into the forecast and to answer money about the grants and all of those kind of things. And that retreat will be attended by building administrators.
Yes, the only possible conflict is that Friday is our comp day for conferences. So there may be one, possibly two principals that may not be able to attend, but I will make sure if we are staying with that date, they will have representation.
Okay, your assistant principal, maybe?
Yeah, right.
Okay, that's fine. And we'll talk more about what that looks like.
Okay.
The board has done that, previously, and really and truly, we just need updates, and we want updates on how it's going, new year, what's going on in the building. And also, we want to hear what the principals need, and maybe if there's additional supports that they need, or there's something that's working well, best practices, if there's something they want us to consider doing differently. Those are some of the things that we'll share, as well as the directors. Other than that, that is pretty much it under update items. Treasurer's comments?
I have one comment. Under trying to eliminate paper, so I did not pass the paper out. It is actually on the system under the executive content, the treasurer's update for September, and I just wanted to call attention to a couple things. FY19 audit has begun. So we had a long session on Wednesday with the Platinumburg auditors, and then we have not heard anything from the state auditors yet, but they will be emailing me and letting me know when they will be on site. I think everything, the energy optimizer closets. There's a group that's wanting to set up some closets that contain toiletry items and snacks and that kind of thing at the high school. And so they will be working with the high school social worker and student encourager and under Mr. McCray. And there's a meeting set up for Tuesday, September 24th at 1 o'clock. And then at the bottom, upcoming meetings that I will be attending, on one on October 7th in Columbus. It's a K-12 consulting seminar, and they go over just a lot of different topics. There's a Southwest Region Fall Finance Workshop on October 10th. And then I will be attending the E-rate training with two of the technology network administrators on E-rate, and that's in Yellow Springs on the 16th.
Thank you. Next up, superintendent comments.
I do have just a few comments. First, I would like the board to, if they can, pencil in the date October, I believe, 28th. That is tentatively our fall graduation for students that did not meet the requirements, but did persevere and make it and meet the requirements. So that is the tentative date. I'm going to be working with the high school to ensure that I get a hard date for you guys, and I will definitely let you know by the next board meeting. But that will be our fall commencement ceremony. It will be held at the high school. And you guys have attended that before,
Right.
so I just wanted to make sure I gave you that information.
Is that Monday the 28th?
I believe the 28th is
It's a Monday.
Monday. I believe it is a Monday, but again, that is tentative. Also, I did attach the summary of the local report card. I sent it also to you guys electronically. And what I wanted to make sure that the board understood is that we have a D, but a D, like I told the entire staff, is that if you brought home a D when you were a kid, it was probably unacceptable. So our goal is to dive deep into this data, and we have already started on the 14th of September. We had our initial principals learning team where we brought all of the building administrators together, and we worked in two parts. And again, Ms. Minor and myself led the meeting. The initial first 2 hours, we focus on building culture and climate, and I've provided everyone with a book, Transforming School Culture by Anthony Muhammad, and that is the basis of our first 2 hours, and it will be throughout the school year. And what we plan to do with those first 2 hours is to complete, in essence, a book study where the entire administrative team will read chapters, we'll have discussions, we'll have some heartfelt and authentic conversation about working together to build a culture that enhances and improves student outcomes. And that's what our goal is. Ms. Minor and her team have really jumped into the whole professional learning community concept that I've been pushing. And we are focused on improving the culture, because without a culture that is ready to receive technical change, then you won't have anything that would be worth standing on. So once we get our culture where we believe we need it to be, then we start with those technical changes to really focus on instruction. But we're doing that simultaneously because we got a late start. So we're working on culture at the same time, culture and climate, but we're also working on some processes that we're implementing that we know will help improve instruction. And Mrs. Minor and her team went to a training yesterday that focused on descriptive feedback, and that's the feedback that administrators give to teachers based upon what they see in the classroom. And a lot of the research says that feedback is one of the most integral parts in driving student outcomes and better instruction. So we're really trying to dig deep. Again, we're running and thinking at the same time. But I just want to assure the board that, as we're making this transition, we are not forgetting about what is our work, what is our focus, which is improving student outcomes here in the district. So I bought each of you a book. I bought that myself. It's my own Amazon account. I get some Amazon points too,
Okay.
so it's okay. So it's okay. But that book, probably 10 years ago or so, I got a chance to hear Mr. Muhammad speak, and it spoke not to my mind but to my soul with regards to how to move a building, and it's very relevant and consistent with just moving school in the right direction. So that, in essence, is our book study. We hope to, first 6 months, work through that and then see what else is on the horizon. But I just wanted to make sure everybody had a copy of that so you can kind of see the direction we're going with working on culture and climate. We think everybody's feeling a little better now. We got to start really working on what we do and how we work collaboratively to move these student outcomes, because that's really why we're here.
So you got a book club?
We do. And I am not a book club guy.
You're a book
But,
club. This is the
yeah, we
authentic
do.
Trotwood-Madison City School District Book Club. All right,
Club.
wonderful. And how many graduates are for the fall graduation?
I do not have those numbers yet, but I will have them probably next week. Do you know the exact numbers, fall graduation numbers yet? Have you gotten those fall graduate numbers? Mr. McCray sent me an email with some just general information. So,
Preliminary
yeah, as soon as I get that, I'll forward it to you.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Any other comments?
No,
Mr. Adams?
that's all I have.
Okay, one thing about the report card, when we have our retreat, that is a good opportunity for us to delve deeper into what all this looks like. Mr. Scares gave me a call after receiving your email, and he was like, I can't make heads or tails of this. Okay, so we as a board want to make sure that we understand the data and how it's,
And if you've been keeping up with what's going on in Columbus, you are not the only one that can't make heads or tails.
Yeah, they can't either, right? All right. But-
So Ms. Minor will be there on the 19th, and she will assist us all
And just
with,
kind of go.
yeah, just kind of get them some clarity on what those things mean.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you. Board comments. Mr. Andrews.
Thank you for the book. I was looking through the table of contents, and it looks like it's going to be interesting read. I'm kind of looking forward to it. There's going to be another fundraiser for uniforms for the middle school. It's going to be Sunday from 6 to 10 at Deja Vu on Salem Avenue, and it's going to be the donation is a minimum of $10, and it'll be free dancing, line dancing, urban ballroom, and stepping from 6 to 10. So everybody's welcome to come, and it's a pretty good time and for a good cause. So far, they have raised around, I think it's like $6,000 that they have given to the district for uniforms for our elementary and middle school students.
Mm-hmm. Are they working with Ms. Jordan Isaac?
Yes, we just got that information today. We just got it today.
Okay.
So we will do what we can to try to work with whomever the gentleman is. I don't even know his name.
I'm thinking it might be Herschel.
Herschel Walker. That's what we were talking about.
No, it's not that one.
Herschel Scott. Right. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Well, we were, Ella and I were talking today, and she kept saying Herschel. And I think I might have said Walker. You said Walker. She said Walker. And we were like, who is this guy? I said, I know Herschel Walker.
That's what I know that name.
But we did just get that information today, and we're trying to figure it out.
Make sure that things are coordinated because we have a system now.
Yeah.
And we want to make sure that system is in place. Okay, thank you. Ms. Bozeman.
All right. Thank you for the book. So I'll make sure I dive into that. I had the opportunity to go out to Springboro with Ms. Moore and Ms. Jeter Freeman. They, as you guys probably know, gave us a nice sizable donation and are still interested in doing more things for Trotwood. So it was nice to meet their administrators and their board. So we went out there and met them, and they're going to be coming to a game, I guess, here in the near future.
No, the game is away.
Okay.
Right. The week 9, I don't know what the date for week 9 is, but I will have that on the next update. So week 9, what they have asked is that high school student, maybe football player, board member or members, high school principal, or come out maybe halftime before the game and accept another donation. So Ms. Jordan Isaacs will be working through all of those logistics, and as soon as we get that information, we'll write it up and I'll send it to you.
And I guess their teachers are interested in coming out and doing something physical. They want to come out and I don't know, do
Yeah.
something physical. If there's a tree they can lift or something, I don't know.
Yeah, and actually, they'll probably get a hold of the city, because, I mean, they just want to help.
They were
Yeah.
very interested in that.
Yeah.
It was nice to me. They were very nice, welcoming, and it was nice to meet them. So it was a good time.
Mr. Howard, week 9 will be the 25th.
The 25th, okay.
And I think they're coming to the parade too.
Yeah, they're coming to the parade, and we personally invited all of them out to the hospitality tent. So they're going to join us for the hospitality tent. Okay, Ms. Jeter Freeman.
Well, thank you all for coming, and I am glad we have our mental health service provider ready to start and provide services to our students. That was a big piece that we were waiting for. So it was nice to attend Springboro School Board meeting and to see how another district operate and manage their meetings, but they were really welcoming. And so it was a good partnership. And that's all I have to say.
Well, I'll just kind of piggyback. I'm sorry, guys. I tried 45 minutes. Springboro finished in 35 minutes. All right. So I'm like, why did they do that? But again, great meeting, great opportunity to meet them. They're so excited about Trotwood. They gave us an initial $15,000, right? Or $12,000. And then I got a call from one of the board members who says they have like another 20,000 plus, and they're still raising money and funds for Trotwood City Schools. And they're just so excited about the overall initiative. So we're excited about having them in Trotwood. That's now our new sister city. We've adopted that district and they've adopted us. Additionally, I want to say, Mr. Howard, thank you for the book. Because the board was actually reading books too last year, quite a bit. We talked about some books, and Miss Bozeman actually facilitated one of our meetings with the book, so thank you so much. Additionally, I want to say thank you for getting the mental health piece in place, because way overdue. So we're excited about having Samaritan Behavioral Health here. Thank you, staff, for staying with us. We appreciate it throughout the meeting. And I just want to say, it's been a really long road for the negotiated agreement. And today is monumental in a lot of different ways. The fact that we have a contract, and not just a contract, we have a great contract. It's solid. When the board had discussions along with superintendent treasurer, it's really important. We talk about we are a district family and we are a district community. Well, what do families and communities do? They take care of each other. And that was a huge, big piece for us to make sure that our folks were taken care of and to grow upon that. One of our goals is to hire and retain staff. And again, when we sat down and did those strategic goals last year, every decision that this board makes goes back to those 6 strategic goals. And in keeping with that, we wanted to make sure that we are able to do that, hire and retain staff. So again, I'm just ecstatic. I think the board is too. I can speak on behalf of the board that we've got this behind us. Thank you to the union for working with us. And actually, the collaboration has been wonderful, I understand. So again, Ms. Bruno and committee, thank you so much. Thank you, Superintendent. Thank you, Ms. Allen. And with that said, I need a motion to adjourn.
I'll move.
I'll second.
All right, we have a motion and we have a second. Are there any questions? There should not be any. Being none, Ms. Allen, will you please call the roll?
Mrs. Jeter Freeman,
Yes.
Ms. Bozeman,
Yes.
Mr. Andrews,
Yes.
and Ms. Moore.
Yes. Motion passed, meeting adjourned.
Would you like a vote?